I'm Jolene Wynn, and this is the Porn Addict's Wife podcast, episode number 140, How to Hit Tangible Goals. Your life does not have to revolve around your husband's pornography addiction. You are not defined by his choices or by what he sees on a screen. You are not just the porn addict's wife. You are so much more. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to go from handling it to healed, because I've been where you are and you don't have to stay there. My name is Jolene Wynn. I'm a member of the LDS Faith, a certified life coach, and a wife of a former porn addict. And this is a podcast for the porn addict's wife. Hello, my ladies. How are you? I am so excited to be talking to you guys today about tangible goals and how you can hit them. I am recording this a little bit early. I am about to leave on vacation for 10 days. My husband and I are going with my parents and my kids to St. Kitts and Nevis, which I had to look up on a map because I had no idea where they were. But they're very south in the Caribbean, and I'm so excited. My parents have been trying to take us on a trip for probably 7 years, and we haven't been able to because my husband was in dental school, and then he only gets so many days off at his office, and he has patients, he's a dentist, so he can't work remote. And so we are finally going, and I'm so excited about it. My kids can't wait. They just keep counting down the days. And so I'm recording this a little bit early, but it will be released when I am in Nevis, I believe. So I'm really excited about that. But I am really excited to be talking to you today about goals. Now, if you listened to my podcast a couple weeks ago about resolutions, I want to encourage you to go listen to that one first, and then you can come back and listen to this one, because this is going to build off that a little bit. You don't have to, but this is kind of the premise and the idea of what I'm going to be teaching at the end of this month. At the end of this month, January 23rd to the 26th, I am hosting a master class, and I want to invite you all to come. It is called Resolutions. And in this class, I am going to teach you how to set and how to hit any goal that you want, whether it's tangible or intangible. This week, I'm going to talk to you guys about tangible goals. And if this resonates with you, if you have something that you've always wanted to do, but you've never done it, or if you set resolutions this year as you reflect and you think, okay, what is it that I want to do? What is it something that I want to achieve that I haven't yet? If you find yourself setting the same goal year after year after year, then I want to encourage you to sign up for and come to this class. It is a 4-day class every day on Zoom. I'm going to be live and teaching you about goals. And I'm also going to be doing some live coaching. So again, you can go to my website, jolenewynn.com, go to the Coach Week tab. That will have all the details on there, and you can sign up right away. It's only $19. You get access to all of it the whole week plus the recording. And I want to encourage y'all to come live so that I can help you figure out what it is that you want, why you want it, and what's in your way, so that you can actually work through those and achieve the thing that you actually want to achieve. I was talking to my clients about this on a call the other day, and it was so fun to see what it is that they typed in. I just asked them, what is it the thing that you've always felt called to do, the thing that you want to do that you haven't done yet? And it was amazing. I have a client who's in medical school, and she said she's always wanted to own a bakery. It was fantastic. I was like, what are you doing in medical school, girl? Anyway, one of them wanted to own a bakery. One of them wanted to open their own woodworking shop. One of them wanted to go back to school. One of them wants to become a life coach. Like, there are so many things. I want you guys to really think about this. Is there something in your life that you've always wanted to do? For me, it was writing a book. Ever since I was in probably 8th grade, I wanted to write a book, and I had no idea what. And this year, I finally did it. If you guys didn't know, I wrote a book, and I published it, and it came out in August, and it's called The Not Enough Wife, and you can get it on Amazon. And that was something that was a fulfillment of something that I've always felt called to do. And it was so amazing to actually see it through to fruition. And so I really wanted to take y'all on that journey and help you guys achieve the thing that you've always wanted to do. So I want you guys to think about that in particular today as I talk about how to hit a tangible goal. Okay, so let's talk about it. Okay, a tangible goal is something that is physical, right? Whether there is an object that you want to have, whether it's a bigger house, or something that you can track, right? So it's not just a concept, it's actually something you can see. So that might be, I want to make a certain amount of money, right? Or for women, what we typically see, and the thing that I see most common is, I want to lose weight, okay? Now, today I'm going to use weight loss as the example as I go through, and I'm going to teach you guys, give you guys some pointers on how to hit tangible goals in your life. Are you guys ready? Okay. The first thing that you want to do is ask yourself, what do I want? And that may seem like a super simple question, but we often have so much drama about it mentally and emotionally. And I want you guys to just let go of the self-judgment for just a second and answer the question, what do you want? Is there something that you want to do, something that you want to have in your life that you've never had, that you've always wanted, or maybe it's even recent. It doesn't have to be something you've always wanted. But when you ask yourself, what do I want? Is there something that I want that I don't have? Is there something that I want to do that I haven't done? What comes up for you? And I want you guys to think about that in today as I go through this podcast episode and kind of work through it with you. I'm going to walk you through it. Today I'm going to use this example of losing weight. Okay, losing weight is a terrible goal. Okay, do you want to know why? Because it's not specific. So that's my first pointer here. Number one is you ask yourself, what do you want? And be honest and don't judge yourself for the answer. And then second, I want you to be specific. It's not just losing weight. What is it specifically? How much weight do you want to lose? Okay. So if there is something that comes through your mind, if you're like, oh, I want to make more money, I want you to make it more tangible, more specific. Okay. How much money do you want to make? If you say, I want to go back to school, what do you want to go back to school for? I want to open a business. Great. What business do you want to open? What kind of business do you want to be in? Right? Be specific. So ask yourself, number one, what do I want? Be honest with yourself. Don't judge yourself for the answer, but be specific about it. Okay? The second thing that I want to offer is that then you go to asking why. And this is something that we usually skip. Okay? Unless you're a life coach or you have a life coach. Why do you want that goal? Why do you want that thing? Why do you want to lose weight? And here's the reason why this is so important to actually focus on. And if you struggle with this, I want to encourage you to come to the masterclass so that I can help you with this. Okay. But when you ask yourself why, you're going to have an emotional reason. Okay. So we need to have some emotional awareness here in order to figure out the reason for why you want to do the thing you want to do. Okay. And it could simply be a desire, but it could also be something else, right? I want to lose weight. Why? Because I don't feel comfortable at the weight I am now. And my brain thinks that I will feel more comfortable if I lose weight. I think I'll feel more confident if I lose weight. I think I'll feel more secure if I have more money. Everything that we do, every action that we take is driven by emotion, either how we feel right now or how we think we will feel if we achieve that thing, okay? So you might be driven to lose weight. You might say, I want to lose weight because I don't feel confident. And your brain says, you know what? I know why. That's because we're heavier than we used to be. We should lose weight and then we'll feel better, right? Okay, so your brain thinks, okay, the solution to how I'm feeling right now is changing how much I weigh, right? Or it might think, I think if I lose weight, I will feel a positive emotion. So I want to pursue that thing because I think it will produce a positive emotion. Okay, this is how our brain is wired. Our thoughts create our feelings, and our feelings are super important because they drive every action that we take or every action that we don't. Right? If we have a desire to lose weight, then we might say, okay, this is the year. I'm going to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to lose 15 pounds, 50, whatever it is. And we might have a desire to do that because we feel uncomfortable at the weight that we are now. However, if we also have self-doubt and insecurity and fear of other people looking at us when we walk into the gym, or an insecurity about putting on workout clothes or a tank top, or if we feel self-doubt, what if I can't actually do it? If those negative emotions are also within us and those are stronger, if those are the emotions that we listen to, then they lead to inaction. You guys see what I'm saying? This is why so many people sign up for things and then they never do it, or they just never even sign up because there's so much negative emotion. If that's the emotion you're operating from, then you're never actually going to achieve the thing that you want to achieve. You're never going to hit your goal if you listen to the negative emotion and you operate from the fear and the self-doubt and the insecurity. You guys with me? So notice that those having a goal, having something that you desire, is not necessarily going to be the thing that makes you get it, right? A lot of us want a lot of different things. The reason that we don't already have it is because we're operating out of fear, out of lack, out of insecurity and self-doubt and frustration and thoughts like I can't do it or it's not possible. And we have all the reasons why. But the only difference between people who actually achieve goals, who hit their goals versus people who don't, is that they aren't listening to that negative emotion. It doesn't mean they don't have it. The negative emotion is always going to be there, ladies. It's 50-50 no matter what. No matter what goal you have, there's going to be 50-50 either way. You're going to have positive emotion and negative emotion. The difference is, what are you operating from? Which one are you going to choose to listen to? And yes, it's a choice. When you have a goal that you want to hit, your negative emotion is just going to come along for the ride. And so many of us think that we need to conquer the negative emotion first in order to start taking the action that we want to take in order to hit the goal that we want to have. Right? I have to lose weight before I can go to the gym, because then as long as I don't feel insecure at the gym, then I can start working out at the gym and then I can hit my weight loss goal. Right? So many of us do this. We think we have to conquer the fear first. No, you can just take it along with you. You can just feel afraid and still sign up for the class. You can just feel afraid and still go back to school. You can just feel insecure and still step into that room that you want to walk into. Okay, your negative emotion is just going to come along for the ride. So recognize that it's going to be there, and also recognize why you want the goal that you've set. Okay, initially, let me give you another example. Initially, when I was younger and I wanted to write a book, I thought that would be so cool. And as I got older, I recognized that part of me wanted to not just write a book. Okay, this is me being specific. I wanted to write a New York Times bestseller. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to just write a book. I wanted to write a New York Times bestseller. Why? Because of how I thought I would feel if I did. I thought I would feel successful. I thought other people would think I'm successful. Other people would think I'm a good writer if I wrote a book that was a New York Times bestseller. Isn't this fascinating? I didn't even recognize it at the time. It took me years, and it wasn't until I was okay with it not being a New York Times bestseller that I was actually able to do it. Because so much of it was wrapped up in this fear of what if it's not, or a desire for it to become a certain thing. I was only going to write a book if it would become a certain thing. I was going to write a book. And then I kept spinning, what kind of books are on the New York Times bestseller list? That's the type of book I should write. But that wasn't the book I wanted to write. Do you see the difference? And so when I was trying to think of a book I could write that would just hit the New York Times bestseller list, then it wasn't me actually serving the people I wanted to serve. It wasn't about writing a good book. It was about trying to create a feeling, trying to hit a certain goal so that I could feel a certain way, so that people could think about me a certain way. You guys see the difference? So you need to know what it is that you want and be specific, and then you need to know why. And notice that there's going to be 50-50 either way. There's going to be a lot of emotion involved, and it can all come for the ride. Okay? Third thing, how will you know when you hit it? This is a huge error in goal setting, right? Because again, this is why you have to be really specific. If you just say, hey, I want to lose weight, and you don't weigh yourself frequently, then how will you know if you lost any, right? If you have a goal of you want to lose weight, then you need to start weighing yourself. If you don't know how much you weigh, you're not going to have any way to gauge if you've lost any or not. Right? So as you're specific, if you say, all right, I want to lose weight, I want to lose 10 pounds so that I can feel better about myself, right? If that's the emotional reason, then how will you know if you hit it? Is it going to be a number on a scale? Is it going to be the size of your jeans? Is it, if you have a money goal, is it going to be the number on your paycheck every 2 weeks? Is it going to be the salary that you get offered? Is it going to be the amount in your bank account? If you have a goal to save a certain amount of money, is it going to be, how will you know when you hit it? Are you going to check your bank account? Be really specific about how you're going to know when you hit that goal. And that's also going to help you be specific in what the goal is, not just to lose weight, but how much weight, right? not just to make more money, but how much money, not just to save money, but how much do you want to save and by when? That's another thing, because this goes into the next one, number 4, which is what is your plan to make it happen? Oftentimes what we do is we get stuck in a timeline. Okay, and I really want to caution you guys against this. Our brains really want to stay focused on timelines, and I want you to look at your thoughts around it. Okay, we might say, I want to lose weight. Okay, well, I want to lose 10 pounds. Great. By when? How will you know? How much time are you giving yourself? Most often, we overestimate how much we can do in a short amount of time, right? We say, I want to lose 10 pounds in the next month, okay? We overestimate how much we can do in the short term, but we underestimate how much we can do in the long run, right? And we think, I don't want to say 6 months. I don't want to say a year because that feels like too long. Now, the way that you know if you have a thought about time, if your brain is stuck in a timeline, is when you think about your goal. Let's say you want to lose 10 pounds and you ask yourself, okay, how long do I want to give myself in order to hit it? Okay, and whatever answer comes up for you, I want you to ask yourself, why that number? Okay, so let's say with this weight loss goal, you say, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 6 weeks. Okay, and then I want you to ask yourself, what if it took 6 months? Okay, and all of the resistance that you have to that is something you need to look at, because so much of our lives is run off these ideas and these feelings about time, things taking too long, right? I don't want to wait that long. Well, what if that's okay? What's wrong with waiting, right? You're going to have all of these thoughts, all of these objections come up about how long it's going to take. And I want to offer that you look at those. Okay. Again, if you're struggling with this or you want help with it, come to the masterclass. I will help you do this for you specifically with your goal. Okay. Because a lot of times we don't even recognize what it is. But take saving money, for example. If you think, I want to save $3,000 and I want to do it by April. Okay, I want you to ask yourself, okay, what if it took until October? Okay, what are the thoughts and the feelings that come up? And this is, again, really important to look at because we often are running as if we're out of time. And then when we're in a rush to hit our goal, then we get frustrated and we think something has gone wrong if we're tracking our progress and we think that it isn't going as quickly as it should. Okay, and what happens when we think this isn't going as quickly as it should, then we get frustrated and then we end up wanting to stop. Okay, because it's not working anyway and I should just quit and this is never going to work, and see, this is why I've never made this much or hit this much and why I'm never going to be able to lose weight, and I might as well just eat the package of Oreos, right? So it's very important to become very clear on why you want it, what it is that you want, why you want it, and how will you know when you hit it? And then what's your plan to make it happen? When do you want it to happen by? Again, because there's going to be a lot of subconscious rushing if you have a subconscious thought of when it should be happening. And it should be happening faster and it should be happening sooner and I should have already gotten there. Okay. Now, when you make this plan, what's your plan to make it happen? Step number 4, right? I want you to break it down. Okay. Now, here's what that looks like. Oftentimes we create something that's very large, like I want to save $20,000 or I want to lose 15 pounds. I want you to break it down into something smaller. Okay, I want to lose 15 pounds. I want to lose 10 pounds in 6 months. All right, if that's true, how many pounds do I need to lose each month in order to hit that? Break it down by month and then break it down by week. Okay, so if I want to lose 15 pounds in the next 6 months, that means I need to lose X amount of pounds every single month. And if I have to lose X amount of pounds every single month, that equals X amount every week. Okay, you break it down into smaller bite-sized increments. If I want to save $5,000 by next October, that means I need to save X amount of dollars every month, or X amount from every paycheck, right? Break it down into smaller incremental things, because otherwise what happens is it's just something out there and in the far future, right? Otherwise it's 6 months from now. So if we aren't on track this week or we don't really start, then it's not a problem because we have till July. And then what happens is we don't ever get the ball rolling. And then before you know it, it's June. And you're like, man, I am just like, obviously I haven't even started. I start to feel really stressed in like April or May, or like, man, I was going to lose this weight and I haven't even started and I'm so not on track. And again, then you get frustrated and you feel overwhelmed. And then most of the time you quit. Okay. So break it down into something more tangible, something that you can track. Now there's two ways to do this. You can have a project-based goal, or you can have an outcome-based goal. So let's take the weight loss, for example. Let's say you want to, the goal is, you say, I want to lose 10 pounds. Why? Because I want to feel more confident. And I think that that's what's going to be able to do it for me. Okay. And you say, I'm going to know when I hit it because I'm going to weigh a certain amount on the scale. My plan to make it happen is within 6 months. Okay. I'm going to break it down. This is how much I'm going to lose every single week. That's an outcome-based goal. Right? I'm going to lose 10 pounds. That's the outcome that I'm reaching for. That's the goal. Okay. A project-based goal is more about doing something at one time. Okay. And so for the next month, my project is that I'm going to attend 2 fitness classes at my gym every single week. That's the project-based goal. Okay. So you can do either just by outcome of, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds, or base it off of a project. My project is I want to hit 2 classes a week for the next month. Right? Does this make sense? Then you can change that and either continue with that same project goal, or you can say my next project goal is going to be I'm going to train for a marathon. And the training, it becomes the project. The outcome is running a marathon, right? So you can either do a project-based goal or an outcome-based goal. And that can be your plan of how to make it happen, okay? Step 5 is identifying barriers. Now, this is where most people don't go. They usually stop at, okay, how am I going to make it happen? And then they say, all right, that's going to be great. I'm going to start tomorrow. And they don't identify the barriers of what's going to come up and get in the way. And I promise you, ladies, there's going to be barriers. You could sit down and write an entire sheet of paper on how it's impossible for you to lose weight, or all the things that are preventing you from losing weight. I really like sugar. I have diabetes. I don't have time. I don't have money. My kids are not in school. My husband, works from home. Whatever it is that your brain thinks is a barrier, I want you to write it down. All of them. All of them. Okay? And it might be super tempting to feel very overwhelmed once you finally look at this list. Once you have this list of barriers, then it's very tempting to just think, oh my gosh, there's no way I could ever overcome all of these. But yes, you can. And I want you to do it one by one. Okay? List them out. And you might be surprised because you might have fewer than you think you do. Okay? After you list them out, you make a plan on how to overcome each one. Okay? So if time is your objection, if you're like, I don't have time to work out, plan it out, schedule it. Put it in your schedule. I guarantee you have time to work out. Put it in your schedule. You just don't have it in your current schedule. So how can you how can you shift your schedule to make a new schedule that you can then follow? One of the things that I would offer is that, especially if it's working out, you do it at the same time each day, right? When your brain just knows at this time every day, I'm going to be working out. I'm going to be exercising. I'm going to be going for a walk. This is the time the classes that I like at my gym, blah, blah, blah. You schedule it, especially ladies, if your schedule changes, right? If you're going back to school and you only have classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, then you're going to need to make some adjustments in your schedule. Plan it out. Okay, what would it look like to go back to school? When would my classes be, right? If I want to go back to work, when could I work? Could I still pick up my kids? Yes or no? If not, can I have my husband pick them up? Can they ride the bus? Look at your schedule rather than just believing that this is a barrier and it's impossible to overcome, okay? Another example is money, okay? Especially with working out. I don't have money to join a gym. You don't need to. There's free online classes. Would you like to do that? Would you like to do a subscription to Beachbody for $20 a month or whatever? Find something that works in your budget, because often our brain thinks, I don't have money, and then it just believes it. It doesn't even try to come up with a solution, right? So whatever your goal is, let's say that you want to go back to school and you think, I don't have money to go back to school. Well, maybe you don't have savings in order to pay tuition in full, but can you go get loans? Can you apply for a scholarship? There are always ways to work through the barrier, okay? So write down every single barrier and then make a plan to overcome each one. Okay? Number 6, don't rely on willpower. Okay, this is often what happens. This is especially what happens when we don't identify the barriers and we don't expect the 50-50 to come along for the ride. What we end up doing is we expect ourselves to just be able to power through, right? We say, it's fine, I'm just going to do it. This is going to be really hard and it's going to suck for a little bit, but I'm just going to do it. The problem with just trying to willpower your way through this is you're going to burn out. Willpower only lasts for so long. Okay, anybody who's tried to quit sugar and give up sugar, I've heard this so many times, or not drink soda or give up candy or whatever it is, right? The thing that you gave up, my friends always did this for Lent, right? I had a lot of friends who were Catholic. They gave up food for Lent. You're supposed to do it for 40 days. Everybody made it like 4, okay? Willpower only lasts for so long, okay? Because willpower is trying to pretend like you don't feel how you feel. It's trying to overcome the resistance simply by ignoring it or pretending it's not there or powering over it. That's not going to work. This is why it's so important to take the negative 50-50 along with you. This is why it's so important to just expect self-doubt and expect fear and expect insecurity and expect failure. Ladies, it is okay, especially when the timeline is irrelevant. Okay? The timeline is irrelevant. So even if along the way to your goal, you feel like you aren't getting there in that amount of time, it doesn't matter. And if it doesn't matter, then you can keep going. And willpower is not required because you just take the self-doubt and the fear along for the ride. We don't have to pretend like we're not there and just power through them. Right? Do you guys see what I'm saying? Willpower is not going to work. So if you feel yourself operating off of willpower, I want to encourage you to come coach with me during this masterclass, and I'm going to help you figure out why and help you figure out how to overcome it. Okay? And then my last tip that I want to tell you, step number 7, I don't know how I've been listing these. It's number 7 on my piece of paper, is do not quit. It's the number 1. Don't stop. Ladies, often the reason that we stop is because we think something has gone wrong. We should already be there. It should have already happened. Again, all of those reasons that we have, and they seem really important and they seem really valid, and it seems like we should listen to them, right? And all it is our brain being lazy. All of it is our brain getting tired. All of it is self-judgment. And I want to encourage you guys to let it go, because what would happen if this time you didn't stop? What would happen if this time, the next time you went off your eating protocol and you ate the bag of chips that you weren't supposed to eat, you didn't say, well, screw it, the day is messed up, I might as well just eat everything in sight because today's over, and then you eat 1,400 calories more than you were supposed to, and so you say, forget it, I might as well just blow it all this weekend and I'll start again on Monday. What if you didn't do that this time? What if instead you said, you know what, I ate the bag of chips. Was it on my protocol? No. But I still get to decide what I'm going to eat next. And I'm going to do that from a place of going to discipline myself to hit the goal that I want to hit. And here's the beauty of that. If you guys have listened to my transformational versus transactional relationships, the beauty of that is that then it becomes a transformational relationship with your goal versus a transactional relationship with your goal. Most of the time we have a goal, we have it so that we can feel a certain way at the end. It's a transaction. I'm willing to take these actions as long as I get the result that I want. I'm willing to eat the things that I'm supposed to eat and do the workouts that I'm supposed to do as long as I get the result that I want at the end. Ladies, that is a miserable way to go through your life. The purpose of the goal is not to hit the goal. The purpose is who you become along the way. The purpose is how you gain control of your eating and your patterns and your behavior and the discipline that it requires to do so. You become a more disciplined person in your pursuit of hitting that goal, so that by the time you hit the goal, the reaching of the goal is irrelevant. Because you've become the person along the way that you want to become. You've become the type of person who can hit goals, the type of person who can set goals and achieve them. It doesn't even matter what the goal is. You've become the type of person who can discipline their spending now in order to save for the future. Not because where you are now is bad and it's out of lack and I need that, but because that's who you want to be, because you're willing to say no to temporary pleasure in order to have a long-term result that's even better. That's the purpose of goals, ladies, whether they're tangible or intangible. Next week, I'm going to talk about how to hit intangible goals, goals that don't have a physical reality, right? And that's even more so necessary to create a transformational relationship with them. I think all of you guys are living far below your potential. And I say that with so much love and so much admiration. And I want you guys to take it and believe it in the way that it's meant, which is you are greater than you give yourself credit for. You guys have so much in you that is meant to be achieved. There are so many things that you are supposed to do, supposed to accomplish. And I know that you can do them. And the only thing in your way is your thoughts and your feelings. Come to this class with me. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay. Again, go to my website, jolenewind.com, go to the Coach Week tab and sign up. If you want help with this, I would love to help you. But you have so much more in you, and I want to help you achieve it. This is going to be the year that you finally hit the goals, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. I love you ladies so much. I hope you guys have a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you next week. So take care. All right, ladies, if you are loving what you are learning on the podcast, I want to invite you to come join my coaching program. This is where we take it to the next level, and we actually start applying and learning the how of moving forward. This podcast has taught you the what, and the coaching program is where you're going to learn the how. This is where you learn how to actually start moving forward, process all of that pain that you feel, and let it go once and for all. If you are ready to finally move forward and stop living a life that revolves around your husband's pornography addiction, then I want to invite you to come join me today. Just head to my website, jolenewind.com, and sign up today. I can't wait to see you there.